Angelica, happy to be here.
Awesome. Yeah, I know you're doing a lot of different things in the film industry and you're even writing.
I'm writing constantly. I have way too many ideas and not enough time to write them all. So it's all about focusing on a specific one. But yeah, I've been doing a lot.
What was your main inspiration to start writing?
Well, all right, so that's a little harder because like I started writing when I was in middle school. Um, I started getting ideas for stories I wanted to tell. Um, I've always loved movies and I always loved entertaining people and telling stories. In fact, I think my first memory is preschool, and we were all doing like a little fun dance song routine, and I just started acting like an idiot for fun, and then I just like look over and I see some of the parents laughing at me, and I remember it was such a good feeling making them laugh, and it just became like my favorite feeling ever. And then around middle school, after I had already been pursuing acting that entire time, just doing fun videos on the camera and stuff like that. I'm talking like videotape camera, not just what we do now with TikTok and stuff. Like you went a little farther out of your way to buy the tape and get the tape done, stuff like that. Anyway, in middle school, I started writing a movie for the hell of it. I thought, what if I took like the movie Predator, and I kind of mixed it with The Mummy.
Ooh,
Um, and I created a story. Again, this is like seventh grade, so don't judge me if it's bad.
no.
It was basically so a bunch of World War II soldiers are in a forest in Europe, and they're being stalked and hunted by like this type of ghostly, like spiritual knight who was like once betrayed and murdered.
Ooh.
And the only way to defeat it was to kill it with the dagger that it was originally killed with. Um, and I just kind of made this drawn out thing. People liked it. In high school, I fell in love with a girl who was my friend, and I decided to write a story just for fun, make her laugh. And the whole idea was simply a vacation in Hawaii, and like I guess her character got broken up with, and my character just kind of wanted to get away. And so I just kind of like take us all on a Hawaii vacation. And after that, when I wrote it, I kind of started like showing other people because I actually really liked that one. That was the first time I actually really started telling jokes in movies. I never really kind of wrote jokes into the movies I've written before. It was always just kind of random ideas. But I passed it around. People were laughing it, and from there, I just said, "I'm not bad. I should keep doing this. I should keep writing." And throughout college and throughout my years, I just got much, much better.
Oh, that's
And that's what I
awesome.
do.
Do you have like a favorite genre to write that you usually
Oh,
go to?
it's definitely rom coms. So I'm a hopeless romantic, and I'm also a comedian. Put them together, and you could have comedy, romantic gold. Um, and thankfully, my comedy comes from so many sources that it's not just one type of comedy. It's not just like stupid comedy or like educated comedy. It's just you never really know what to expect when it comes to a joke. So take that and someone falling in love with each other. I can't resist. It's my favorite. It's definitely my favorite genre of all time to write.
And when does inspiration to write usually come to you? Is it like random moments or is it like,
It's definitely random. I could be looking at something and I could just get an idea. I could, or like even more than that, I can get like not just an idea, but like I could see a scene perfectly in my head, and I like the scene and I want to do the scene, but sometimes I want to build more onto it. Um, okay, so my favorite writer is uh the dude from Lord of the Rings, J.R. Tolkien, and I always laughed at it what he did because it reminds me of myself. So he was obsessed with languages. He liked to create his own language and all his alphabets. So he created it, and he wanted kind of like an outlet for it. So he wrote a kid's tale for his kids called The Hobbit. And from there, he just thought, what if I added on to this kid's story and I made a whole world of this epic tales? And that's kind of what happens with me. You get one idea, one scene, and then you just turn it into so much more. um, and it's all about kind of sticking with the idea, and that's kind of how I have to do it because I get so many ideas, like just random moments keep happening. So it just kind of, yeah, just stick with it, and then you'll get a good movie idea. But yeah, normally it just comes from a random idea.
That's awesome. And I know you write roles for yourself and then you write roles for other people, which I think is really awesome. And
Yes. So one thing I love to do is give people opportunities. So one thing I learned working on independent films for about 12 years now, I kind of realized that a lot of people have a lot of talent, but they don't necessarily have the outlet to show it. Um, Most people need a certain audience to kind of show off how good they really are. Um, and I knew that very well because most of the independent films I've been on was like horror films, but I'm more of a comedic actor. So I go onto horror film sets and I make the best of it. And I do the job and I like to believe I do it well. But I feel like my talent is kind of wasted on horror films because I'm a comedic actor. I'm funny. I could make funny, expressions, and I could do so much. I could tell jokes. I could improvise very well. And I know I'm not alone in that.
yeah,
I know that there's a lot of people out there who really have the desire to really get into a character and to take it seriously and like really fall in love with the job that they're doing. They just need the outlet for it. And being a writer, I I can't resist. I love writing movies and stories, and I figure maybe I could find people to be in these who are also so ambitious and have such aspiration for the work that they're willing to do it. And I'm happy to give those people opportunity. So it's all a matter of how much and how dedicated they are. And then I'm happily to give them these opportunities, and I even give them a little leeway room so that way they can adapt to themselves, so that way they can relate to it and love the character even more.
that's awesome because I know a lot of people they talk about being, put into a certain category and they never really get any other opportunities and
Pretty much, typecasting is sadly very true in this industry, and it happens to almost everybody at this point,
yeah,
unfortunately.
especially I feel like certain women like they're kind of in that little box where they're like I want a
Oh
serious
yeah,
role. Like I know
I'm
you probably
not
get
just beauty,
frustrated.
okay? I want to act.
It's like I'm not just a
um,
prop. Like I know we were even talking about that. It's just like there's too many
it's so bad. Typecasting is really bad. I mean, I think of Marilyn Monroe because she was this bombshell of a woman, and all she wanted was serious roles. And if you ever saw the movie My Week with Marilyn, it really shows into that of how everyone looked at her as the sexy woman, the sex symbol, and they're thinking all the things most people would think of when they think of that. But here she is just wanting to like really act. She wanted to like really show off what she can do. And it's really sad that she didn't really get a lot of opportunities like that. But
yeah.
sadly, that was in like the 50s and 60s, and it's still happening today. So I like to change that.
Yes, I know, especially with, the Me Too movement, I feel like it helped a little bit with certain things, but there's still, I
It
feel like,
definitely did,
writers
but
out there who,
I think it's sadly too much in the industry for it to entirely die. Me
yeah,
Too movement helped stop a lot of the harassment, but it didn't really do much for typecasting.
yeah,
Unfortunately, typecasting has just become too much of a thing. It could be for men, it could be for women, it's for everyone really. I mean, you think of like, a fun looking fat guy, you immediately probably think mall cop or some other comedic relief.
uh,
I mean, it happens with everyone.
yeah.
So like, if you have a certain face, they'll find something for it, and then they'll just say that's your career now. You're just that, and it's unfair to a lot of actors who take it seriously.
Who want the more serious because I know I'm in a weird place right now because I still can't get a lot of the older roles yet. I'm still typecasted to be younger, which I mean is a good thing, especially since I started later. And
Definitely a good thing. I miss the younger roles. I do, because it also makes more sense on my dumb behavior I like to make. Like, oh, you're a little too old to be acting that way. So it's I guess enjoy the young stuff you can, but I mean, there's always a time to get into the old stuff because at some point when you're doing the older roles, you're stuck doing the older roles. You can't go back.
You can't go
So
back. Yeah.
just enjoy it as it goes. Because otherwise, it's kind of like when you're a kid and you say, "I can't wait to be 21." Just so I could finally drink, and then you turn 21. You're like, wait a minute, all this other
Now
responsibility.
it's
No,
fun.
take me back, take me back. That's kind of how it goes with acting. Like, yeah, just I know you want to go into the bigger stuff, like big middle-aged roles where you could be like the old wise man mountain or something. Like, there's so much you can do with everything. But enjoy the youth, enjoy it, and there's so many
Definitely.
ways you can do young.
Young, yeah, definitely. Like I like the crime
Crime.
investigating, like,
So you want to become the like detective, but looking like you're 23 doesn't necessarily look like, hey, she's a lead detective.
no, it's that's why it's just, I can't be intimidating yet, but I know, I mean,
So
it's a
there's
good thing.
time. There's
There's
definitely time.
time, which
I
is good.
mean, for now, you could always do like, and yeah, the comparison's a little too young, but like Nancy Drew is doing those things when she's like a teenager. So it's not hard to believe that someone could do investigation without actually having the job title. You could do
Yeah.
like a college girl trying to find her friend who went missing and turn it into a whole investigation series where she's taking it so seriously. She's making like the web of strings that connect the dots. Like it just you take the age of the character and you could create a story behind it. If you want to do investigation so much, you could easily just find like a background for it. Why is she doing this stuff at this age? And why does she care so much about the case? She's clearly too young to become a lead detective. Well, simple, because the crime is personal to her. So she takes it very seriously. And thankfully, she has such a passion for it, she can do it.
Yeah. Because I know it's just a thing, we will all like age into different things. And I
Yeah.
think we touched on this a little bit, but what are your biggest pet peeves in the film industry, if you would like to share?
Um, it's kind of very obvious to me. So I really hate how often people use formula when it comes to making movies. They figure out the formula and they think that's how you make it, but it's not just any one way you make it. That's a way to make it. That's just one of many ways you can make a movie. But they seem to think formula is the only thing that works. And unfortunately, the bigger companies, they they look at like the money that it brings in and they say we'll make more money doing this than we will doing this. But unfortunately, creativity is what's lost when you do that. Like I think about it all the time these days. So comic movies tend to be the biggest box office things there are. So when you really think about it, what movies can you really think of that were original ideas that became so popular in the box office? And it was just they don't compare it to Marvel or DC or all the other ones. Uh, this one movie just came out called The Machine with Burt Kreischer. I think that's how he says his last name. And the whole premise was a joke. He was making a stand-up, and he made an entire movie around one joke. But it failed because The Little Mermaid was at the box office, and so was I think Spider
Oh,
Verse at the time. So it didn't stand a chance. But The Little Mermaid's a remake, and Spider-Man 2 Across the Universe, or whatever it was called, was a sequel. So original ideas aren't really benefiting from it very much.
no.
And unfortunately, the younger generation is dreaming of becoming into movies and becoming writers, actors. Unfortunately, that's their format. They think of that stuff. And they don't think of movies that we grew up on, like Saving Private Ryan or Shawshank Redemption, or movies that like tuck the storyline originally, and they put so much into it, and it became a gold mine of a movie. And that's definitely a pet peeve. Like, people follow the formula way too much, and they don't try to be creative and original nearly as much as they used to.
Not at all. I agree.
It bothers me.
Even I feel like I watch black and white films sometimes, and I feel like those are so much more like original. Like the early, it's still black and white, but there's audio.
Absolutely. So the movie posted behind me is a 1936 movie,
Robin Hood.
Robin Hood, and it's in color, shockingly. But it was, in my opinion, the best interpretation of Robin Hood. It tells the fairy tale. It's got the fun. It's got the charm. These days, they try making it too modern. which I feel like I'm trying to relate to my audience, but betraying the source material. And that kind of goes along with everything. Black and white movies, all those old movies were the originals. They were originally written by people who were dying to sell that movie and made it as good as possible. And thankfully the studios would pick them up. And, because there wasn't like a million scripts coming in at a time. This was the beginning. So there's probably thousands instead of millions. So you were able to actually get in a lot more better. And you were actually allowed to have change. So yeah, the black and white ones are definitely, in my opinion, better movies. They're original, they're fun. Sometimes you can hear a joke, and it still will make you laugh the same way a joke today would. And when I think of this movie, I just think of the fun and the charm, and you don't see it a lot these days.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to watch that movie now because I know I still have a VCR TV. I just keep it, then I go on eBay and I'll get like older movies too.
It's a good movie.
It helps a lot.
I'm shocked you haven't seen it, but it's just like the type of Robin tale you would see in like a child book.
Oh wow!
But you add in there the fun and the charm of the character, who just kind of like the main character just looking at Mary Magdalene, Lady Marian, with just like this charm. Was like she's like, no, I don't want to eat, I don't care. Like she's stuck up and she's mad that they basically won when it came to robbing them. And he's like, well, we're all going to have to eat together now until we get home. And she's like, I don't want to eat, all stubborn. He's like, all right, help yourself, whatever. And just keeps on eating food and just kind of ignores her. And then, like, at the corner of his eyes, he sees her, like, picking one up and she's kind of hungry. He just kind of gives her, like, this look, like, yeah, I know. Like, just kind of like, you didn't even have to say anything. He's just, like, looking at her, like, okay.
I get you. I get what you're hungry.
And and like it was about the action and reaction, and it adds to the charm. You don't necessarily have to say things to be charming. You just have certain lips and smile at each other in a certain way. And that makes a lot. And you don't see that these days. And it may not be an original idea, but a lot of the stuff that they added to it was pretty original, actually. So there's that.
Yeah, now I'm gonna have to get that on eBay, a VHS.
You should. It's a good movie. And that's not even close to his better ones. There's a movie called Captain Blood, and I still think it's almost as good as Pirates of the Caribbean.
Ooh,
it was so amazing for such an early film it was. And the dialogue, like, when I write my movies, I like to think back of those movies, because a lot of the dialogue they wrote were like practically poetic. Even if they weren't Shakespeare, they could still like come off absolutely beautifully. Like clearly they took their time. Which is another thing that goes into writing. A lot of people are very quick to write on their laptops, but a method I discovered while writing was you could either write by hand or typewriter, and you notice something that gets better because you are not allowed to make mistakes. You have to choose your words very carefully. You have to think every single thing through. You can't just type on like, oh, this would be cool. Like, no, you're thinking it so much more ahead of time, because you don't want to have to recap the whole page or scribble out words that you're writing. So it takes, it helps you a lot when you do those methods. And movies back then, they definitely did that with typewriters, and you can tell in the writing. It's so much better.
Oh yeah, agreed. And I know, like, you do multiple things. So you're a writer. Do you direct your projects also?
So I direct half the time. I write a lot of projects, but obviously not all of them are going to get picked up. But and it's even more hard to find people who actually want to take the time to do it. But I tend to like really write projects for just for the sake of writing them. And then it was kind of like, okay, who can we get involved in this? So I do make my own projects from time to time, depending if I can't find anyone better to make it with me. But I'm more comfortable writing and acting and assistant directing than I am in the actual director's chair, because I could be a director. I'm good at it. It's just a matter of doing all the work yourself. it's hard to find people who are actually dedicated enough to like put the time into it. And most of the time, they're all expecting a big paycheck because clearly their personal lives need money because they're spending so much time in the dream that all the work that they do on film, they feel like I need the money. But sometimes the money's not always going to be there. Like, half the time I don't have money for the projects, but I have the dream, I have the writing, I have the material, I have a lot of stuff for it. But I would need the crew to, actually get it done, which I'm happy to pay them if they really, really want it. But it's hard to find people who are willing to do anything without a paycheck either.
Yeah.
Which, when you're at entry level, sadly, is kind of how a lot of things go. But in total, I act, I write, I direct, I do crew, I sometimes I even cater for the entire group.
Oh wow, you cook too.
It's all a matter of doing as much as you can for the project, and I do a lot. Whether it's on my own projects or for other people, I just say, hey, do you need any help on your projects? And they normally just find something for me because I'm happy to be success, whether it's my own or not. I don't know, it's comforting. I feel like I'm in my group. So yeah, I do a lot. But most of it's writing and acting. But I do direct directions.
But you do wear many hats, it seems, which is awesome. It's a lot of different talents.
You gotta be a jack of all trades.
Yeah.
Or Jill of all trades. Like, you just do as much as you can, get on the scene, have some fun, meet friends, learn things. Like I said before, I did this for 12 years now, and I've met amazing people, incredibly talented people. I have a whole catalog of actors who I can call at a whim and say, hey, do you want a project? Or a lot of directors will sometimes message me, say, hey, do you know anyone who can fulfill this role? And I would send them the perfect candidate because when it comes to casting, I've been pretty good at casting. Like I said, I got that database with all the actors, and I know exactly who they are and how perfect they'll be for any certain role. So when they come calling, I happily send the candidate to them.
Oh, that's good. So that's pretty important because I know it's good that you have a list, and especially if people have a good relationship with you, they'll get future opportunities.
Well, I definitely try and make sure everyone's comfortable enough to the point where they want to work with me. I tend to walk away from sets that I direct or that I am also on with friends and people who I can talk to forever. And I certainly know that not all directors are like that, and not all people are like that. Sometimes you just can't get along with them. But me, I'm enjoying the time with people, and I'm networking a lot. So I build up quite a bit of people that I know who want to be in movies and action stuff. And if I can't get them in spots for my own projects, I'm happy enough to get them on projects for other people as well. So I got a hold out of this, like, every time I work with someone, and I know I was speaking to you about this in the past, I have a whole, sheet, pretty much a pamphlet, where it's all the information that they have, like hair color, eye color, shirt size, what they're willing to do, what they're not willing to do, basically all the details you can ever be asked for a project, and it's on there. So that way, when someone does come calling, or when I call, I know exactly who to look for. And I like to get that from everyone I want to work with. And I definitely make sure they walk away from sets with me smiling and happy and willing to work with me again, because I take things very professionally, and I want to make them very comfortable, because this should be a fun experience for everyone, and they should not feel the need to run away from these things the way other directors do. So I try to be different than other directors. I want to make sure they're happy with working with me and want to come back.
Yeah, I love how you have the different limitations that each actor or actress has, because I feel like a lot of these people will share, different castings, and then when, a possible candidate messages the director, they're like, well, this isn't clear. What do you want me to actually do? And they'll try to ask, but then it's very unclear.
They'll ask me stuff all the time, like, hey, I need someone who's willing to do this, and I'm like, okay, well, this person has a pretty good physicality. I'm talking about like an action scene or something. Like someone said they wanted to do a fight scene. I need someone who has black, longer hair, can do a fight scene for a few days. So they gotta be in decent shape. They gotta look like they're kind of cool. They might have to be willing to do their own stunts, which is also on the sheet. Are you willing to do your own stunts? Because if they're not, then they could help go against you, but it could also go for you. Like depends how much they like you. I'll make sure it's multiple their way too. But like I started doing that in like 2013 when
2013, wow.
So I got hired on this company where I was an assistant director in a lot of projects, and this guy was very OCD, and he wanted to have the database. I think he just enjoyed having it. I think he just enjoyed filing crap. I don't think he actually cared about reaching out as much as I've come to like it. I think he just really enjoyed playing on the computer. He just felt like data collection or something. But I made sure I walked away from that experience with a new thing to do. I made sure I cataloged it. I make sure that I can help my fellow actors, or I could find them if I need them. And I found it's very beneficial. Shockingly, a lot more directors than I thought would come calling and say, "Hey, I really need this person. Who do you think would fit the role?" And I'll go through the database. I'm like, that person, character. And there's a lot of actors now who I could still think of. Like even on the top of the head, if they say, "I need something this," my mind goes, that guy.
That's so awesome.
So like working in comedy, and this is probably one of my favorite ones I ever did. Derek Brash from Cheese Productions asked me once, "Who do you think you can have to play this crazy character on a movie I was trying to develop?" And the character was just wacky. He was dumb. He was acting like a total psycho. And clearly he's got to be okay with taking his shirt off and doing dumb stuff. There was a really crazy scene I wrote, which was supposed to be a completely random situation that the protagonist just reacts in a certain way. And me and Derek Brash were talking about it, like who would play that character? And I'm like, I know this back in college, Dave Cook. And shockingly, he's been working with Derek Brash ever since. Even when I've been gone, they've still been working together regularly.
Wow.
So those connections do help people find other people a lot. Whether I'm involved or not in the projects, they meet people that they want to work with more. And that's one of the funnier situations I've dealt with, where all I do is recruit one person and they just became a regular for that director because they enjoy them that much. But it helps.
Definitely, and like making sure, because I feel like reputation is so big in this industry, and like who you know, and
like reputation is what keeps you in business, and it keeps people coming back. Bad reputation could completely destroy someone's career in this industry, but a good reputation will skyline. It's amazing how how much you can really get with just reputation. I always make sure a good reputation is always what they walk away from you with.
Oh yeah, that's because I know. It's just I know we've had our talks about certain things, and
there's definitely been a lot of directors that deserve worse reputations.
But
they got bad ones, but they deserve worse ones.
But I feel like sometimes certain people who are just getting started in the industry, or just actors who want to prove something that they're always working or always on set, will often put up with things that aren't really aligning with their values, or they'll just put up with things just so they're working, they're busy.
So that's how a lot of the actors start. And that's unfortunately a lot of the mistakes they make. I feel like any young actor needs to be fully aware of what they're doing and how long they should be doing it. So when you first probably graduate college or when you first get into acting, independent movies are where you want to be. They will give you the practice, they will give you experience, they will give you something to put on the resume. which is always very helpful. But more importantly, you meet a lot of people, you make great connections, and you'll find yourself with like amazing experiences on these film sets. Unfortunately, not all those sets are going to be good. You have to make sure you are on good sets with people that are good. And I know you might want the work, but sometimes walking away without the work, but your pride intact, is definitely more important than sticking with a bad director or a bad film. And as far as walking away goes, it's very important to stay in independent movies until you feel like you're ready to like put your act on the road. You know, like start auditioning for bigger things, and like not just extra work, but like talking roles. So you definitely want to make sure you get the experience down, but you can't stay in independent films for too long, because at some point you just never really leave, and at some point the people who look at your resume will see a whole list of things they've never heard of before, and in which case they'll just think, oh, they might suck. In which case, it's up to you to really nail that audition. But otherwise, you got to make sure you stand out and show that your resume looks like you're growing really well because you're doing good. So definitely do independent movies, but you got to make sure you move on at some point and you start taking talking roles in movies. And I do mean talking, because if you do extra roles for too long, you're stuck in extra forever.
That's what people have mixed reviews about that, but I feel like sometimes if you're always there and they always see you in the background, it's harder.
Then they'll see you as a background, kind of like typecasting, because they'll see you doing extra and everything, but they'll never see you like talk. And even at the audition, you'll be like, hey, I could do more. And they'll first thing they'll probably ask is, why haven't you done that? Well, I just waiting for an opportunity. There's opportunity everywhere. So it's very important to not just start doing extra work. It's very easy to do that. I've known people who got stuck doing extras. You just gotta find a way to push through it. And if it takes you hiring a really good agent who will take a nice cut from profits, say yes, because they'll get you those talking roles. They might take a lot of your paycheck, but they will get you to that next platform you need to be on. They will get you talking in roles, which will start making people start remembering you more. And at that point, it's a matter of finding better gigs. They get you talking in movies, fantastic. They get you talking memorable lines, even better. And then that's how you climb the ladder. So you can't be afraid of going to an agent and saying, I want most of my money. It's like, no, if you get me where I want to be, you can have a lot of it. I guarantee you. Because this is about what I'm willing to give to get where I want to go.
Definitely.
So don't be afraid of that.
No, and I know.
Don't switch
no. And I know, like, even, like, for possible extras that could be watching this that are maybe in a rut, I know, would you like to talk about, like, certain, like, you don't have to go into details with the projects, but, like, what you're looking for people? Like, even if you're looking for...
My own projects?
Yeah. Are you looking for newer actors right now? Or?
Always looking for newer actors. The most important thing I look for on projects is, as I mentioned before, ambition. And they gotta have to want to do it. They have to dedicate themselves enough to like commute to things, because we can't come picking you up.
No.
You have to make the effort, and I will always make sure that you are like paid off in the long run. Even paid off there, depending on how far you drive. If you drive far, I'll happily give you that. But at that point, it's nice to just come on the project. I'd love to talk to you, meet you. I'm not going to be the guy who just doesn't look at you like other directors that, there are, unfortunately. But I will always be the type of guy who will talk to the extras, get to know the person, and see who they are, and see how they act. And then, as I mentioned, catalog them. So that way, I can come calling, or someone else can come calling, and I can help grow them further. But you gotta be dedicated. You gotta make sure you don't miss days. When I first started acting, I missed days. I started losing reputation because I had a hard life I was trying to balance. Until eventually I realized this needs to take all of it. You have to take the initiative to make sure you're reliable. Because when you start being unreliable, they don't want to work anymore, and they stop trying to hire you. So yeah, definitely be reliable, be ambitious, and come on out. And I definitely have projects that are starting to get going, and a lot of them will be needing some extras and probably some talking roles. So never be afraid to reach out to me or the casting call that I might put out. My name is currently on the video, Ryan Barrett, and I'm sure you won't forget my Jack Black open face in here. But basically, just don't be afraid. Have fun. Get out there. Be ambitious and see what happens, because you never know when you'll be a star.
Yeah, that was awesome. And I know it's probably going to kick us out in a couple minutes, but do you have anything else you would like to say, like to maybe like aspiring actors who feel like maybe they're like not where they want to be?
Okay, so I definitely know that feeling, because I am turning 30. And as much as it beats me up, I have to admit that it definitely does suck to know that I'm not where I want to be at my age. But I keep thinking about Harrison Ford. When he was 30 years old, my age, Harrison Ford was still a carpenter. And now we know him as Han Solo, Indiana Jones, the dude from Blade Runner. Like, he's everywhere. He one of the greatest actors of all time. And when I was younger, I had this book. It was called Great at Any Age. And it wasn't really a book. It was just a list of all these great people and what ages they were. And it was organized by age. So every time you turn an age, you can see what someone achieved at that age. And it always helped remind me that it's never too late. And you may be struggling longer than you care to admit. But at the end of the day, you just fight the good fight, and you make sure that you never give up. Because once you do give up, that's when you lose.
Yes.
But if you keep fighting, when you're like 80, you might become the next Ronnie Dangerfield. And dude was so memorable. He was very old when that happened. So it's like you just gotta stick with it. Don't give up, because it will break you to give up. I tried giving up once, and it hurt me. So I got back into it. And it's very important that you stick with it. If you love it, stick with it.
Yes.
And don't think about the time clock. Because when it comes to success, it doesn't have a time. It could happen whenever. You just gotta make sure you stick with it. And it might happen, it might not, but do you really want to spend the rest of your life wondering if you could have?
Yes, that's beautiful. Like how you put it was just so beautiful, and it's even helping me because I know like my birthday's coming up where it's like, oh no, another year older, and like I used to compare myself a lot also, but yeah, this was beautiful. Thank you.
Of course, I'm always happy to have it. Yeah, just fight the fight.
Fight the fight.
And I win.
Yeah, thank you so much. I know it's probably going to kick us out in a few seconds, but it was so great having you on.
Of course, I'm always happy to be on. And I hope I helped someone. Anyway, if I helped one person, I'm happy.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So thank you for having me.
Thank you.
And if you ever want to bring me back, you just let me know, okay?
Oh yeah, I will. Thank you so much. Have a good one.
Thank you.
Bye.